Hello Virgo, let's get right into your reading for the second half of July, focusing on the time frame of July 16th through the 30th. So starting off with a focus message from the Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection card deck. And let's take a look and see what focus message I can grab for you for the second half of the month. General, as always, Virgo, it will not resonate with every single person. So please do take from it whatever makes sense for you and let the rest go. If you are, however, interested in a personal private reading, all of that information is down below this video, as well as a list of all of the card decks that I typically use for my readings. All right, guys, so let's get started. Focus message, please, angels and spirit guides. Here we go. There isn't a soul on the planet who doesn't crave your approval. Very interesting. The back of this card reads, the only difference between a friend and a foe is that you've decided where love can grow. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to see how that particular focus message taps into this reading, Virgo. Okay, so let's start off with some Mystic Moon oracles. So angels and spirit guides for Virgo, focusing on the second half of July, love, relationships, romance, other aspects of life. Let's take a look and see what comes through for this reading. For you, Virgo. All right, here we go. So angels and spirit guides for Virgo, please bring it forward. What needs to come through this time? Pride and ego coming forward. So you might be thinking about someone, a particular person, who might be in this headspace. If they are, then they are more than likely just thinking about themselves at this time. Perhaps they're just being too prideful to take any sort of action towards you at this moment, dealing with their ego. Okay, so let's take a look and see how that plays itself out here. What else, please, for Virgo? We do have a new direction coming through here. That's so interesting. I just did a reading for Libra, and I believe those were the very same two cards that first flew out, if I'm not mistaken. So for some of you, you may very well be tapping into the energies of a Libra. Let's see. Cycles. Okay, so this particular situation that you are thinking about for this reading, time is needed here. It's going through a particular phase, a particular cycle. So if there hasn't been enough action in a relationship or a particular situation, that's because it's not quite ready to happen. It needs to go through a particular journey. Okay, so let's see what else comes forward here. And it's interesting with that focus card, there isn't a soul on the planet who doesn't crave your approval. There may certainly be a particular person that you may have in mind here who feels that it falls on your lap, Virgo, to take that first step to be able to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest in a situation or a relationship. Perhaps they need your approval in something, some aspect, okay, of the connection. The divine masculine definitely wants to have their voice heard in this reading. Perhaps for my divine feminines tuning in, there's a particular divine masculine that you are thinking about for this reading. And part of the reason why there is no communication or there's just not enough action here is because they are in this headspace of just thinking about what it is that they want at this time, or they're just very much in their pride and ego that they are unable to take any sort of action towards you at this time because they're just thinking about what's going on in their world right now. So let's see what else. Okay. Yeah, we've got mute here. So divine masculine is not communicating, not speaking up at this time. Yeah, he's afraid of something. And look at this bottom card. We do have a separation that is indicated here. So Virgo, especially my divine feminines, you are in separation here from someone that you're thinking about here. More than likely the divine masculine here. You know, it doesn't have to be so gender specific, guys, but certainly for some of my divine feminines tuning in, there is a particular divine masculine who is afraid to come towards you. Yeah, they crave some sort of approval from you for some reason. But what's coming through here as well is that despite the fact that you guys are in separation from each other, I do feel that this divine masculine still thinks about you and still cares for you. But my divine feminines, I'm feeling, have chosen to go in a new direction here. Perhaps there just wasn't enough action from the divine masculine, or the divine masculine, for whatever reason, ran into some sort of barrier or obstacle that was preventing them from approaching you. So that's a possibility here. All right, so let's add to this with some tarot messages, Virgo, and let's see what else needs to come through for you for the second half of the month. Angels and spirit guides for Virgo, please. What else needs to come through? But yeah, you're in separation from somebody that you love and care for, Virgo. But this person is not speaking up right now. They're not communicating. They're afraid to talk. Okay. We do have the Six of Wands coming through here. Six of Wands is somebody who has a lot of self-confidence. Certainly tapping into that divine masculine energy. So they are confident, but at the same time, they're afraid to speak up. They're a little bit conflicted. That's part of the energy that I am tapping into here. But there is victory and success that is indicated through this card. Let's see where that's going to take us here. What else? We do have the Chariot. So there is movement that is indicated here, movement forward here, that's tapping into water energy, more than likely a Cancer. So for some of you, there is a Cancer that you're thinking about for this reading, or they are thinking of you. If it's not a Cancer, it could be a Scorpio or a Pisces, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. But with the Chariot card coming forward, that is willpower, and it's also tapping into one's determination and triumph. There is movement here. So perhaps that is what's needed in order for this union to be able to re-manifest itself, because you guys are in separation right now. You are at a distance from each other. I have a divine masculine here who's coming through with this fearful energy and afraid to approach the divine feminine. So because of this fear and the inability to be able to talk to you right now, Virgo, so perhaps that is why the divine masculine here is, he's in this weird headspace of just thinking about himself now, thinking about what it is that he can do for himself, because for whatever reason, he is unable to come towards you. There's some sort of barrier that's keeping you guys apart. And this might be the reason, okay? Some of you are dealing with a divine masculine who just has way too many choices, too many options. Too many options that are coming forward here. This is also tapping into illusions and fantasies and imagination. So I have a feeling here, Virgo, that this particular divine masculine has a very magnetic attraction towards you, and they still fantasize about you. But it's an illusion, you know, it's not real. And until they take action to be able to manifest this in a 3D, I think for some of you, you're possibly dealing with a divine masculine who is content at this time to be connecting with you in the 5D. That's a possibility here. Let's see what else. What else, please, for Virgo for the second half? For the second half of July, please. Angels and spirit guides. What else do we need to know? We do have the Hanged Man coming through. Okay, so with that Hanged Man energy, there is a need for sacrifice, suspension and surrender, self-sacrifice, having to let go. It's offering a new perspective on how either you, Virgo, see the situation, or perhaps this divine masculine is trying to find a new perspective in how they perceive the situation. But once a decision has been made, more than likely from the divine masculine standpoint, it's going to get things moving in this relationship once again. And that's going to propel you guys towards a better direction. But the divine masculine in this scenario, especially whoever is resonating with that energy, needs to release what no longer serves them in order to make room to receive. So I have a divine masculine here who may still be a little bit confused at this time. Very much in their headspace, pride and ego, but afraid to approach you and speak up at this time. Let's grab one more. What else, please, for Virgo? What else, please, for Virgo? Angels and spirit guides. Death card. So something has to come to an end in order to welcome in a new start, because the Death card brings forward endings and new beginnings here, Virgo. For some of you, this is tapping into that water energy. Okay, so we've got Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. That's being indicated with that card as well. So yeah, something needs to end in order to welcome in a new beginning. So perhaps if there is a chance for reconciliation here between you and this person, Virgo, certain parts of that relationship had to go. And I do feel that that's what ultimately brought this separation into play here. So I'm feeling my divine feminine either walked away, or whoever is resonating with that energy, somebody walked away here from the connection for some reason. Some of you may have already been in another relationship, and therefore this divine masculine was a part of a third party. That's for some of you. Perhaps that's why he's afraid to approach you, because you're still attached, Virgo. And I believe that came through in a previous reading as well, and that's continuing to come forward here. Okay. With the Death card, it's tapping into the energies of a relationship that has ended, but you still have love for the person. And I feel, Virgo, that this person still has a lot of love for you, but something is preventing them from coming back into your life at this time. Okay, so let's take a look and see what else you need to know for the second half of July. So angels and spirit guides for Virgo. Whoops. What else needs to come through here? For Virgo, please, angels and spirit guides. What else do we need to know for Virgo? You deserve love, Virgo, absolutely. And it's so interesting how this is the bottom of the deck. This could be the one. Perhaps you still feel this person's vibrations and energies. Again, I do feel that some of you are connecting in that 5D realm, you know, and this is falling right below the separation card. You are in separation from somebody, Virgo, that you still have a lot of love for. This is somebody that you feel is the one for you. You may feel that this person could either be your soulmate and or a twin flame connection, but for whatever reason, this person is unable to come back into your life at this time. All right, so let's add to this with some signs from Spirit Love Oracle. What else do we need to know for Virgo, please, angels and spirit guides? What else do we need to know here? What else do we need to know for Virgo, please? Angels and spirit guides, bring it forward, please. We've got the color red. This might be a significant color for some of you. It's also dealing with passion, anger, and courage. I do feel that whoever it is that you're thinking about for this reading, Virgo, you have a lot of passion for this person, a lot of love for this person still, but there's anger involved here as well. Perhaps you're holding on to anger that you feel over the separation or whatever it was that caused the distance that is now between you. But it's interesting how courage is involved as well. And sometimes it falls on us to take that first step to get us going in a new direction. Okay. So for some of my divine feminines, especially, if you've been afraid to take action to be able to manifest this connection in the 3D, perhaps it does fall on you to make that first necessary step to open up lines of communication, okay? And if you're not resonating with that, it's simply asking you to have the courage to possibly hold on to your faith that things will ultimately work itself out. Even though it may not seem like it right now, there's a potential that ultimately things might work itself out, even though it doesn't seem that way. Time is involved here, so let's see what else. You know, with the cycles, it is going through a particular cycle. So time is definitely involved to be able to manifest or see the necessary changes that need to happen in this connection. What else, please? Angels and spirit guides, please bring it forward. Tidal wave and disturbance. This to me is the equivalent of the Tower message in traditional tarot. So I'm feeling part of the separation that occurred here is that the Tower needed to come down on this relationship for whatever reason, and that's what broke you guys apart. It was unexpected, and it was chaotic, and very traumatic for some of you. It was very painful to be in separation from this person because I'm feeling that you have a lot of love for them, and they have a lot of love for you. It's certainly indicative of grief over a broken relationship. But with the Tower card, it's wanting you to learn from your past mistakes so that you can use those lessons to learn from it. Use them as stepping stones to progress your life forward towards this new direction. There is action that is needed here from you, Virgo. And this Tower, this tidal wave disturbance card, is tapping into blessings. They may not seem like blessings right now, but it could potentially be a blessing in disguise over what happened here. Because it's definitely tapping into separation between you and somebody that you are thinking about for this reading. Someone that I feel you still have a lot of love for. I feel like grabbing one more card here. What else? Look at that. A second reference to that color red. Red is very indicative of passion. And if you happen to love red roses, okay, for some of you, or perhaps this person may have gifted you with roses or flowers. But with that enchanted energy coming forward from this card, it's bringing about that fairy tale-ish type energy that there may be a potential for a reconciliation with this person, but there are challenges that you both have to overcome in order to get rid of whatever obstacles are standing in your way. You know, perhaps it might take a second tower moment coming down on whatever is going on in your individual lives to be able to bring about union or a reunion. All right, so let's add to this with some Lovers Oracle messages. So angels and spirit guides for Virgo. What else do we need to know here, please? For the second half of July for Virgo. Interesting. We have freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Nothing stopping you from going in a new direction, finding a new path for yourself. And part of the freedom and new direction, it could certainly be tapping into both of your energies for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine here. Sometimes it takes going in a different direction for you to figure out that what it is that you want in your life. And should the divine masculine here actually figure out for himself what it is that he wants, and if what he wants is to come back into your life, Virgo, that may be a part of the cycles that's happening here, part of the journey that you're both on. Because what's coming forward with the Chariot as well as the Six of Wands is that level of victory and triumph and movement forward. So even though there is no communication at this time, and this is for me tapping into that Three of Swords energy, somebody who's heartbroken, someone who is in grief over this separation, you can both claim a new direction for yourselves. And sometimes by doing that, that new direction is actually taking you guys back into each other's lives. So that's certainly a potential for some of you. All right, so let's add to this, guys, with some healing messages. So angels and spirit guides for Virgo. Please bring forward any healing messages that need to come through here at this time. For my Virgos, please. Healing messages for Virgo. There we are. Balance is needed. Yes. So there is balance that is coming forward here. Perhaps you're feeling that life is a bit unbalanced at this time. Perhaps it is that imbalance that is keeping you and your divine masculine or divine feminine. Of course, it depends on whichever side you resonate with. But balance needs to be restored here. That's ultimately what is going to heal the situation. So if it's unbalanced at this time, if either one of you is not meeting each other halfway, or if there is not an equal exchange of energy between the two of you towards a desire to manifest union here, then it's going to take a little bit more time to be able to bring that back into the 3D. Once it comes back into balance, then I do feel with the triumphant energies from the Chariot and the Six of Wands, a positive outcome is in store here. Okay, so let's close out your reading, Virgo, with some final thoughts. And there we are, some final thoughts from the guardian angels, and I'm going to grab this bottom card here. Okay, we've got expression coming through here for you. This card reads, express how you feel, clearly, lovingly, and honestly, without fear or judgment. Say it exactly like it is. All will be resolved when you express to others how you truly feel. Trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concerned. Self-expression is liberating and healing. That is so interesting, guys, considering that we do have what I'm feeling is a divine masculine who is unable to express themselves at this time because they're afraid. Afraid to speak up. Afraid to express truly what is in their heart. Okay? And finally, we end your reading with compassion, Virgo. This particular card reads, Dearest one, be compassionate towards yourself. Surrender the self-criticism and fear that has you believing that you need to improve in order to be worthy. You are perfect just as you are. The only thing that needs to change is your negative perceptions. You will come to realize the jewel you are when you love and honor yourself as you are. Absolutely. And it's really tapping into the energies of this you deserve love card. You need to recognize that for yourself. Okay, Virgo, that's certainly a part of this freedom that's coming in for you. That's part of the freedom that you need to claim for yourself. That there's nothing that's stopping you from going after what it is that you want. The path is clear if you want it to be. All right, guys, so that's where I'm going to leave this reading for the second half of July. If you were able to resonate with part or all of this reading, please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. And if you are interested in a personal private reading from me, all of that information is down below this video. Thank you so very much for tuning in, Virgo, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.